You've been clamoring for this for ages, and now, after what feels like an eternity, I've unearthed 3 chilling tales that went down during school lockdowns. It was just another mundane day in calculus, a dreary Friday in 7th period, with the sweet promise of spring break looming just beyond the horizon. The air was thick with anticipation, and the restlessness in our seats was palpable. Unlike many of my friends, we were spared from the torment of a test that day, so our laid-back teacher decided to lighten the mood with some games on Sparkle. But then, in an instant, everything changed. Just as my friend confidently answered a question about Adidas, the dean's frantic voice crackled through the loudspeaker, sending icy chills down my spine. "This is not a drill," he warned, urging teachers to lock down the classrooms. My heart raced as our usually calm teacher sprang into action, flicking off the lights and herding us into the shadowy corner of the room. Silence enveloped us for what felt like an eternity, until the familiar hum of the power panel abruptly ceased, plunging us into an eerie stillness. We exchanged terrified glances, the gravity of the situation sinking in. Moments later, a blood-curdling scream echoed down the hallway, sending 2 girls into a fit of tears, amplifying our dread. The man's voice grew louder, a deranged howl as he pounded on the lockers, declaring, "I'll kill all of you!" Panic surged through me as I realized the true horror of our predicament. Our teacher hushed us, but the fear in our eyes spoke volumes. The relentless banging shifted from the lockers to our classroom door, and that's when one of the sobbing girls let out a desperate scream. The pounding intensified as the man's screams echoed through the halls. 2 girls in the classroom broke down in tears, their sobs piercing the heavy air. It felt like an eternity as he battered the door, a relentless force of chaos. Finally, he stormed down the corridor, howling like a creature possessed, until his voice faded into the distance. 10 minutes passed, though it felt like a lifetime, before the dean's voice crackled over the loudspeaker, a chilling announcement that sent shivers down our spines. He revealed that a deranged individual had infiltrated the building, attacking the woman at the front desk who had fled in terror. The staff was left in a state of uncertainty, unsure if the man was armed. This was a time before security cameras, when the school stood vulnerable, a playground for nightmares. After a thorough search of the hallways and classrooms yielded no results, the dean ordered teachers to continue their lessons, but with all doors locked tight, forbidding any student from leaving. The most unsettling revelation came later, when a night shift janitor stumbled upon the man, slumbering in a storage closet at the back of the school. Whispers among students suggested that A44 Magnum peeked from his pocket, a grim reminder of the danger lurking nearby. The janitor must have made a grave mistake, perhaps leaving the closet door ajar, for by the time the police arrived, the man had vanished into thin air. To this day, my classmates remain oblivious to his fate, but I can't shake the thought that somewhere he's receiving the help he desperately needs. Our school operated on 2 lunch periods, the first for 6th graders and some 7th graders, the second for the rest of the 7th graders and all 8th graders. The lockdown unfolded in early October, on a day shrouded in gray clouds and rain. During the first lunch period, I heard 4 thunderous booms that I initially mistook for thunder, but deep down I knew something far more sinister was at play. The entire lunch crowd erupted into a cacophony of screams, a chilling sound that echoed through the halls. I thought those kids were just being dramatic, but then campus security stormed in, barking orders for everyone to funnel into the multi-purpose room. Those poor souls in line had to abandon their lunches, tossing them aside like forgotten dreams. My friends and I shuffled inside, joining a throng of anxious students, all eyes wide with curiosity about the unfolding chaos. The multi-purpose room loomed large, its back wall a sinister expanse of glass. As we were herded in, security began to shroud the glass with heavy curtains, blocking out whatever horror lay beyond. Adults stood guard at every exit, their faces grim and tense. Eric, ever the inquisitive one, approached one of the adults, desperate for answers. When he returned, his face was pale and his voice trembled as he relayed the news. "You know those houses right in front of TMS?" he began, his words hanging in the air like a dark omen. I nodded, dread pooling in my stomach. "There's a mentally unstable man barricaded in front of his house, threatening to end his life and take out the cops if they try to evict him. He's been lurking around, watching us with a twisted gaze." To our horror, Eric revealed that this man was also a registered sex offender. The weight of that revelation pressed down on us as we sat trapped in the multi-purpose room for what felt like an eternity, 2 periods lost to fear. Finally, when the nightmare subsided, we were escorted back to our classrooms one by one like prisoners released from a dark cell. Later, I learned that this man lived next to my friend Brandy. She recounted a chilling Halloween night when she spotted him at his window, carving into his own flesh, writing a blood-curdling message, "Don't come here or I'll kill you." At the time, many dismissed it as a Halloween prank, but after this harrowing incident, we all understood the true madness that lurked next door. Now, at 22, freshly graduated and working as a computer intern in the basement of my old high school, I find myself surrounded by chaos once more. The basement is a disarray of forgotten memories, but there's a small office tucked away, surprisingly neat, with 3 spacious desks, 2 mini fridges. A flat-screen TV loomed on the wall, its glow a stark contrast to the oppressive silence of the office. The air conditioning hummed, a luxury denied to the students and teachers trapped within the school's walls. The servers and computers buzzed ominously, remnants of a world that felt increasingly distant. I had landed this job thanks to the unwavering support of 3 former computer teachers who cherished me like a long-lost friend. Their kindness had paved my way, but that was before the darkness descended. Weeks ago, everything changed. My co-workers, Dave and Gary, were absent, lost in their own tasks upstairs. I was alone, savoring a sandwich during my lunch break when a chilling call shattered the mundane. A woman from the front office whispered urgently that the school was on lockdown. An armed intruder had breached the sanctity of our halls. Panic clawed at my throat as I realized my office, despite its comforts, was a trap. No door to shield me, no lock to secure my fate. I flicked off the lights, plunging myself into a suffocating darkness, the glow of my computer screen extinguished. My phone lay silent on the desk, messages sent to Gary and Dave swallowed by the void. I sat in the shadows, fingers trembling as I played mindless games, the minutes stretching into an eternity. The chaos above was a distant echo, muffled and terrifying, while I remained a prisoner of my own fear. Then, the basement door creaked open, a sound that sliced through the stillness like a knife. My heart raced as I contemplated calling out to my absent friends, desperate for reassurance. But before I could decide, footsteps thundered down the stairs, each step a harbinger of dread. I shoved my chair aside and crawled beneath the desk, my breath shallow and quick. The office door swung open, but the lights remained off, shrouding the room in an unsettling gloom. Silence enveloped me, thick and suffocating. I could feel the icy grip of terror wrapping around my heart, a primal instinct warning that if I'd make any sudden noise, I'd be a dead man. 1. The stillness shattered as my phone emitted a chilling ding signaling a text message. In that instant, my heart plummeted and dread coiled around me like a serpent. I gritted my teeth, the sound of footsteps creeping closer, each step a harbinger of doom. With a surge of desperation, I crawled from my hiding place beneath the desk, pleading silently for mercy from the unseen threat. Just then, a hand seized my arm, yanking me upward. It was a man clad in a red plaid shirt, jeans, and a cap that seemed to absorb the shadows. "It's all right," he murmured. "I'm just hiding here with you." "What's happening up there?" I whispered my fears, but he brushed them aside, his eyes darting. "Is there an exit?" he pressed. I pointed, my voice trembling. "Yeah, over there." Before I could question him further, I demanded, "Who are you?" Silence hung heavy until he finally spoke, revealing he was there to pick up his son when a teacher ordered him to hide. I glanced at my phone, dread pooling in my stomach as I read the text from Dave. "Dude, this is insane. Some guy shot Mr. Buckley. He's wearing a red shirt and a hat. Whatever you do, don't come upstairs." My throat tightened as I looked up, the man's face suddenly sinister under the dim light. Panic surged through me and I bolted for the stairs. A gunshot rang out, the sound ricocheting off the cold, damp walls of the basement. Miraculously, the bullet missed me, and I burst through the door to find police waiting, their presence a beacon of hope. The moment the man stepped into the light, they apprehended him. In a twist of fate, our teacher, Mr. Buckley, had survived the attack. It was later revealed that he and the man had a history, though the details remained shrouded in mystery. All I knew was that the echo of that gunshot would haunt me forever.